Hello, exploring food with Smitty's Foodies. Guess what I'm making today? I have seen this recipe on the internet, I would say for probably over a year or two, and I kept thinking, I'd like to try that. So, what I'm making today is gumbo, green gumbo. Never heard of it, never had it, but I thought I would give it a try. Now, with this recipe, you can use various types of greens, a combination, or just whatever type of greens you use. So, at the store, they had these greens called dandelion, and I've never had dandelion greens in my life. So, I thought, you know what? This is called Exploring Foods with Smitty. Let's explore dandelion greens. So, this is what they look like. And I got a couple of bunches. They're really, really fragrant greens. I looked up to see how they taste, and they said they're like a cross between spinach and something else. So I'm using dandelion greens and collard greens. So what I'm going to do is get my stuff together and come back, and guess what? We're going to be making green gumbo. Okay, so what I'm going to get started with is sauteing my vegetables. And I'm sauteing them in a different pot just because I don't want to mess with my roux, because the most important thing of any gumbo is your roux. If your roux is messed up, then your gumbo's messed up. I just put in a little oil. I'm going to let this pan get hot. And then what I'm going to saute is vegetables, my garlic, my bell peppers, and onions. So let me get these sauteed and then I'll be back. Okay, as you can see, my vegetables are good and sauteed, and they smell really delicious. So what I'm going to do is set these to the side, and then I'm going to get ready to start on my roux. Okay, so I just put in a third cup of vegetable oil, and to that I'm going to add my half of stick of butter. And I'm going to let that melt, and then when I come back, we're going to be adding our flour. And then keep in mind, once you put your flour in here, you want to keep your roux moving until it gets to the desired color that you want. Because as I said, when you're making any type of gumbo, if you mess up your roux, you messed up your gumbo. So we'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, my butter is pretty well melted. So what I'm going to add to that is my flour, which is a half a cup of all-purpose flour. And once you put that in there, you just want to start stirring and never stop until you get to the color that you want. Because like I said, you don't want your roux messed up. You don't want it lumpy. You don't want any of that stuff. So let's just get this roux going. And when I get it to the color that I want it to be, I'll come back and I'll show you. Okay, I just wanted to come back and let you see that my roux is starting to turn brown. And you may want it a little browner than that, or it's up to you, your color. I prefer mine a little browner. So I'm just going to keep stirring it until it gets to my consistency and color that I want. Okay, so as you can see, it's getting to the color I want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this off because I don't want it to brown and burn, and this will burn. So I'm going to add my vegetables in here, my sauteed vegetables, and let them have a stir around. Now this is a vegan recipe, but I am putting meat in mine. So I'm just letting you know that you can have it vegan. So what I'm putting in is smoked turkey necks because I just didn't want to put chicken. I didn't think chicken would be so yummy in here. So I'm putting my smoked turkey necks in. Okay, and then what I'm going to add now is my greens. They've already been washed. Put those in. And then I'm going to add 4 cups of water. It says, but I always put mine in a pot and add it. Like so. Get my dandelions. I left these whole because I want to be able to pick them out. Okay, so this part of the water, I'm going to whisk in some, let's see. I'm going to whisk in some chicken soup base. And I just pour it in here, like so. I'm just going to stir this in here, like so. Try to get those clumps melted. And if you don't get them all melted, they'll melt while they're in here cooking. Okay, so let's get this poured in. Try not to splash. As I said, this is a vegan recipe, and I just decided to add meat because I wanted the flavor of the meat. Okay, so to this, I'm going to go ahead and add my smoked sausage. And these are my kitchen shears. If you don't have any, get yourself some because I tell you, they work wonders. Get these all cut up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get these all cut up. And then what I'm going to do is put it on the back burner. Now I'm just going to let it cook until all of my ingredients are cooked inside. And then we'll come back and we'll taste this. Okay, so it's been a while. What I'm going to do is move this to the front so that we can give our greens a check. So let's open it up. And there we are. Put this back here. Let me move this back so that you can see. Yeah. So there we go. It's cooking really nice and there we go. Okay, so as you can see, our greens has cooked perfectly. The meat is falling off the bone. So what we're going to get ready to do right now is to add our shrimp. I wasn't going to do that, but I thought, well, you know what, I'm making gumbo, and if I was making regular gumbo, I would add shrimp. So I'm going to get ready to add my shrimp, and I'm adding it at the last minute because you don't have to add shrimp right away because you don't want it to be rubbery. And this has been cooking a long time. And I have to tell you, I have tasted the juice in this, and oh my God, never had that taste before. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my shrimp ready, and then I'm going to add it, and I'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, I've added my shrimp. And then what I'm going to do is put this back on the stove and let it cook for a little bit. And then we'll be having some gumbo. Green gumbo. Okay, so this is our green gumbo. Let's give this a try. I tell you, I've never in my life even heard of green gumbo. And I did put rice. I wasn't going to, but I thought, well, might as well eat it the way you're supposed to eat it. So let's try it. The flavor is so delicious. Just the juice or the pot liquor, if you want to call it, alone is good all by itself. I'm speechless is what I am, that this is so good. I'll tell you, if I had to do this again, I would use andouille sausage because I think that gives a better flavor. But this is really good. The greens are tender. The sausage is good. The shrimp is delicious. It's just, I can't explain the taste. Absolutely scrumptious. So, thank you for exploring green gumbo on Exploring Foods with Smitty. Give this a try. You owe it to yourself. It is so delicious. Like, share, and subscribe. And we'll be back with more recipes. If you have anything you'd like to see me make, hit me up in the comment section.